Alright, our next job today is to service and winterize this Suzuki 70 horsepower 4-stroke. I'm going to pop the hood off and I'm going to start draining out the lower unit gear lube here. And we will do an oil change to it and get ready to winterize. Alright, so we pulled the lower drain plug out of the lower unit. We pulled the upper level vent plug out. I have both plugs there. I used the hammer with the impact driver to loosen the plugs. Gaskets look good. We'll be able to reuse them. I have my oil vacuum pump is down through the dipstick tube. We are vacuuming out. Should be 3.5 quarts of oil when all is said and done. Next, I'm going to grease the fittings. We'll have a couple there, and we have one right here for the steering stem. There's one right there, and we're going to change the oil filter. We're going to take that off and replace that. The oil fill cap is removed. This is where it tells me how many quarts of oil we should be getting out and putting back in. And this outboard, well, it's a 4-stroke and it's fuel injected. So we're going to remove that fuel filter and get a new one ready to go in. I'm going to put grease on the gasket. That way there it doesn't get frozen onto the housing. And we are going to remove this fuel filter here. We're going to just pull it off, disconnect the hoses, and I'm going to blow compressed air through it to clean it and get all the fuel out of there. And then we're going to hook up the antifreeze. We're going to start the engine and we're going to run marine antifreeze through the cooling system. And then back here, it's hard to see, is the VST, or high pressure fuel pump. And on the bottom of the fuel pump, you see that screw right in there, that little Phillips screw, hex head? That is the drain for the VST. And that is how we're going to get all of the fuel out of the fuel system while the engine is running. We're going to run the gas right out of it after we open up that screw. So that's what our plan is. And stay tuned. All right, so I've added the correct amount of stabilizer to the fuel tanks. Don't overdose, just the right recommended amount. I have removed the primary fuel water separator, and I have a new one with a greased gasket ready to go. I have changed the engine oil and replaced the oil filter. The engine oil is proper level. Put the plug back in. I have my universal wrench here already on the drain screw for the VST high pressure fuel pump / vapor separating tank. And I have my bucket with a couple gallons of antifreeze, minus 50 degree pink antifreeze, going to my electric pump. I have the valve shut off here, and I am connected to the engine's battery, or the boat's battery, through the engine here. Getting ready to start the engine. I've already greased everything, changed the oil in the lower unit. I have cleaned the secondary filter and we'll be putting that back in. And I think we're ready to go. So let's fire it up. Running. Antifreeze through the coolant. Out. Open the drain. You just have to loosen it, don't have to take it out. Gasoline's running out. No, that's Perfect. All right. All right, so now we're the antifreeze has been circulated through the cooling system, so we're done with that. I will put that away, and the next step will be to remove the coils and remove the spark plugs and fog the cylinders. All right, I'm gonna disconnect all the coils, maybe. There we go. Okay. All right. Get those right out of the way. Eight millimeter. By the way, I still have the fuel system wide open. Any residual fuel will just drain out. Okay. Let's not drop those. Okay. There's one. As you can see, they just pop right out. Okay. You can see the spark plugs are way in there. I need another extension. I'm just looking to see if I could find a sticker that tells me what the spark plug gap is. I may have to, oh, right here. 0.8 to 0.9 millimeter. You always go with a lower number, 0.8. Okay. Here's some information, right? So spark plugs. I've said in earlier videos that I don't always replace them. I look to see, you know, do we have a nice sharp edges? Is anything worn down? Anode, cathode, anything really showing massive signs of wear. The other thing, I can always kind of tell how much usage the boat got by seeing how far off the gap is from when it was set last fall. All right, so 0.4 millimeters is here, so about 0.22. Yeah, 0.4. Oh wait, it was 0.8, wasn't it? Yes, my mistake, 0.8. Okay, so here's my 0.8. So yeah, about 34. Doesn't look like this engine was used that much this year. Okay, so that's that. Spark plugs are gapped, cleaned. Got my stabilizing oil here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This can's almost empty. I'm gonna try to wrap it up. Yep. Okay. Just going hand tight for now. You can see all the corrosion this engine is getting from the salt water usage. I am going to soak it with WD-40 before I put the hood back on. That'll help prevent it. Okay, everybody's in, hand tight. Crank it over. That's it. And put the key away. You don't have to tighten them too tight. New spark plugs, you'll feel the crush washer flattening out. Old plugs, not so much. Tight is tight. Too tight is broken. Okay, so that's that. All right, I'm gonna put these coil packs back in. Again, don't kill it, just snug it up. Okay, that's that. While I'm at it, I'm done cranking the engine. I am going to not forget to tighten up the drain screw for the VST. Okay, that's done. And let's plug these back in. Okay. You can hear them click, 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 click. Okay. Ignition is back. Oil filter is tight. That's all set. Put this fuel back together. Okay, there's that one. that one. Okay, and this goes back on the bracket. Okay. Fuel system on the engine is put back together. Fuel filter is pretty much one of the last things to do. Again, grease on the gasket. Tighten it up a little bit, but don't kill it. And then, last but not least, usually either a 13 or 14 millimeter. $13mm in this case. Okay. I'm just putting the nut back on. All right. Okay. All right, another one done. Okay, put some tools away and come back and cover this engine up. Yep, just give it a bath. It might get all moldy and turn black and not look pretty, but it's way better than rust and corrosion. All right, just gotta cover it up and we're done.